I'm Carly Fairweather. I'm the foster and volunteer program manager at St. Hubert's Animal Welfare Center. So our success rate for the field trip program has skyrocketed recently. The foster program are the ones who send the animals out on field trips. We're doing roughly 50 appointments. So that's 2 a day usually. The process is pretty easy for field trips. You go online and there's a field trip tab right on our website. It's all run through Acuity and they have a 2-week time frame where they open up time slot. If they're coming for the first time, they'll get a little survey in the beginning that basically just asks their preferences, asks them how used to dogs they are. Are they used to walking big dogs, little dogs? Do they prefer walking somebody who doesn't pull? Those simple kind of questions. Then we look at their driver's license and we get them in our system. Then someone from the foster team will just touch base with them and pick a dog based on our available dog list, which has behavior information, medical information, and things like that. We will harness up the dog if they need to be harnessed, if they're a puller or if the person prefers it. We'll give them some poop bags, a little travel water cup, and we have them put our shelter's phone number in their cell phones, and then we keep their cell phone number too. We do go over some of the rules that people miss when they are excited to take an animal. So we'll say, don't forget that everything that we put on the dog, you have to keep on. Just little things that people might forget. Don't forget your kid can't hold the leash. We just ask that they're back about 15 to 20 minutes before adoption hours open. I think sustainability for the program is really based on how many staff members we have and keeping the number of field trips manageable. A lot of times we'll get fosters or volunteers who we already know asking if they can do a field trip. Since we know them better, we know their preferences, we can usually squeeze an extra one in. So another thing that I find to be really important is promptness from the field trip person, because sometimes people will come a couple hours late and we don't really factor that into our schedule. So recently we've been reminding people that it is an appointment-based thing, and so is our program. So if we have someone who's supposed to be here at 10, but they don't come until 12, we're sending a litter of 6 puppies out at 12. So it gets a little confusing there. And we also are tracking what animals people take so that when they're a repeat, we can kind of have somebody in mind already. So we're not trying to brainstorm at the last second when they get here. I guess it depends on what program people are using, but in Acuity, you can add a note. So that way you can put like last time they took a little bit, and then you can see that person's name come up and you're like, oh, okay, I know they can take dogs that pull a little bit more. So we have a separate email. It's just field trips at. They'll go out on a field trip and they'll usually email us within a day or two the pictures that they've taken. They do sign a media release whether or not they want you to use their pictures or not. We also just made new bandanas that say, adopt me, I'm available for adoption at St. Hubert's. We've really tried to seize the opportunity when there's a field trip person that's interested in adopting or fostering. If someone comes back from a field trip and is like, I would love to keep this dog longer, great. We'll send them out to foster, and then we can always have them retroactively fill out the foster application form. When we initially started the field trip program, a lot of us were nervous that we were just sending our animals out with strangers. And then we thought, that's what we do every single day when they get adopted. So why not help people in the community get to know our shelter better, get to know our staff, and also have the opportunity to take a dog for a walk, get them out of the kennel for 3 or 4 hours. They come back nice and tired and refreshed. And it might lead to a foster, a volunteer, or an adopter. So I would say be open-minded, because it can be very scary to just send your animals out. But then when you remember, that's the entire point of sheltering, right? We don't want them to stay in the shelter. We want them to get out.